Welcome to another deep dive. Today, we're going way beyond just like the typical wellness buzzwords. We're going deep into Ayurveda,
Yes,
a 3,000-year-old system of medicine from India.
that's right.
And our guide for this deep dive is the Everyday Herbalist. Get ready, listeners, because we're going to uncover how this ancient wisdom can unlock a whole new level of well-being for you.
Absolutely. We're going to dig deep, go beyond just scratching the surface,
Yeah. Okay, so imagine this. Your body is like this intricate ecosystem,
Okay.
right? Where
Yeah.
everything needs to be in perfect harmony for you to truly thrive.
Interesting.
That's Ayurveda in a nutshell.
The core idea. Yeah. It's a fascinating concept, this idea of personalized wellness, because Ayurveda recognizes that we all have unique constitutions and needs.
Okay, so not a one-size-fits-all approach.
Definitely not. No. Ayurveda looks at these individual variations through the lens of the doshas.
The dosha.
Yes. Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. Think of them as these energies that govern various functions in your body.
Okay. I'm intrigued.
All right.
Tell me more about these doshas.
So each dosha, it's linked to specific elements, and it has a distinct set of characteristics. Let's start with Vata.
Yep.
So Vata is associated with air and ether. It represents movement, lightness,
Okay.
and it influences things like your circulation, your breathing patterns, even your creativity, and how quickly you think.
So Vata's like the wind, constantly in motion.
Yeah, that's a good way to think about it. What about Pitta?
And what about Pitta?
Pitta is all about fire.
Uh-huh.
Transformation. It governs your metabolism, how you digest food, even how you process information.
So someone with a lot of Pitta energy, they might be like super sharp,
Yes,
driven.
that's a great observation.
Right,
Yeah.
sure.
They often have a really strong metabolism, a really sharp intellect, and just that focused, fiery energy. Now, Kapha, this is our third dosha. Kapha is linked to the elements of earth and water.
So Kapha is about grounding, stability.
Precisely, yes. Kapha provides structure. It governs lubrication, cohesion, and that sense of groundedness. People with a strong Kapha influence tend to have sturdy builds, calm demeanor, and just this natural resilience.
So it's like each dosha brings its own unique strengths to the table,
All right.
like its own tendencies. But do we each have all three?
We do. It's the unique blend of these three doshas that makes up your individual constitution. Usually one dosha is more dominant, and that plays a key role in understanding your overall health and well-being, according to Ayurveda.
So how do we figure out what our dominant dosha is?
Well, traditionally, there's pulse diagnosis.
Pulse diagnosis.
Yeah, where a practitioner can feel the subtle qualities of your pulse
Wow.
to understand your doshic balance.
So it's more than just like counting beats per minute, like at the doctor's office.
It's much deeper than that. It's like the practitioners listening to this symphony of your inner world through your pulse. They're feeling for the rhythm, the depth. And these subtle qualities offer a wealth of information about the state of your doshas. There are much simpler ways. A lot of practitioners offer dosha quizzes on their websites. It's a series of questions about your physical characteristics, mental tendencies, even just your preferences, and they can help pinpoint your dominant dosha.
Oh, that sounds much easier than becoming a pulse reading expert overnight.
Much easier, yeah.
Now, speaking of practitioners, Megan Hart, the practitioner behind the Everyday Herbalist, she seems to have a very unique approach to Ayurveda.
Yeah, it seems like she blends this ancient wisdom with modern wellness practices. She really emphasizes these personalized plans that incorporate nutrition, lifestyle changes, and even herbal remedies.
She's bridging the gap between tradition and modern life.
Yeah, it seems like it.
Now, she has several different options on her website.
Right.
Yes.
She has comprehensive consultation and wellness package, an individual dosha analysis, and an Ayurveda Marma Spa treatment.
Okay. So let's start with that comprehensive package. That sounds like the most in-depth option.
Yeah, it does. It's a two-part process. It starts with a 90-minute session where she conducts a health assessment, performs that in-depth pulse reading that we were just talking about, and really just has a thorough consultation to understand, like, your individual constitution and any imbalances you might be experiencing.
So it's like you get a full Ayurvedic checkup.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And during that initial session, you'll also experience something called marma therapy.
Marma therapy.
Yeah, think of it as a very gentle, non-invasive approach to energy work. Marma therapy involves applying warmed herbal infused oils
Oh, wow.
to specific points on your body called marmas.
Okay.
And these marmas are considered to be energy centers.
So is it like acupuncture, but with oils instead of needles?
Yeah. So gentle pressure is applied to these marma points, and that helps to release blockages, promote the flow of vital energy, and restore balance. And depending on your needs, the marma therapy will either focus on like your head, hands, or feet.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. You even get a follow-up email after that session.
Oh, great.
With some initial recommendations for lifestyle and dietary adjustments.
That's awesome. That's a great way to get started, even before that second part of the package.
Yeah, it is. Absolutely. And speaking of the second part, it's a follow-up session where she really dives into creating your personalized wellness plan. She'll perform another pulse reading, refine your plan based on like your progress, and then provide really detailed advice on diet, herbs, supplements, and lifestyle adjustments. And it's all like specifically tailored to you.
So it's all about empowering you.
Yeah.
With the knowledge and tools to take control of your own well-being.
That's the essence of Ayurveda. You know, it's not about somebody just telling you what to do. It's about guiding you to understand your own body. Yeah. And make choices that support its natural healing abilities.
I love that. That's truly empowering. Now, what about the individual dosha analysis? How is that different from the comprehensive package?
So the dosha analysis is a single 60-minute session. And it's a great starting point for someone who's curious about Ayurveda.
It's like dipping your toes into the Ayurvedic water.
Yeah, exactly. You'll get an overview of the doshas. You'll learn about your dominant type, and then receive some basic guidance on diet, nutrition, lifestyle practices that can help bring you more into balance.
I can see how that'd be really helpful. Now, what about the Ayurveda Marma Spa treatment? Is that more focused on like relaxation and pampering?
Yeah, it sounds like it. It's a 60-minute treatment that combines the principles of Ayurveda with a blissful spa treatment. You know?
Sign me up. Tell me more.
So you start with a brief consultation and a pulse reading, and then you'll receive a traditional Abhyanga treatment, which is using those warm herbal infused oils. They also incorporate marma point therapy.
Oh, nice.
Which further enhances relaxation and promotes detoxification.
Wow. So you get like the relaxation and the therapeutic benefits of Ayurveda.
Yes. You get to experience the power of Ayurveda in a very pampering setting.
I love it. It seems like Megan really aims to make this ancient wisdom accessible to everyone.
Yeah, it seems that way.
Now, besides those consultations and treatments, does she offer any other ways to learn about Ayurveda?
She does. She has a series of workshops coming up.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it seems like a fantastic way to dive deeper into specific aspects of Ayurveda.
I love workshops. What kind of topics does she cover?
So there's a boosting your immunity workshop that's coming up. It sounds like a great way to learn how to strengthen your natural defenses, you know, especially as we head into like the colder months.
Yeah, for sure. That's definitely something I'd be interested in. What else is on the schedule?
Let's see. There's an essential oil workshop planned.
Oh, fun.
Where you can learn all about the therapeutic properties of essential oils and how to use them to enhance your well-being.
I love that. Using aromatherapy to support your health. Very cool.
Yeah, and then for those who want to really like get hands-on, she's offering a making your own herbal remedies workshop.
Wait, you can learn to make your own herbal remedies.
That's the idea. You could learn how to create like personalized teas, salves, other concoctions using the wisdom of Ayurveda. And the power of plants.
That's incredible. It's like taking your wellness journey to like a whole other level. So if someone is listening to this and they're thinking, okay, Ayurveda sounds amazing, but where do I even begin? What would you suggest?
I would say start with the basics, you know?
Yeah.
Learn about the doshas. See if you can identify which one might be most dominant for you. Megan's website has a dosha quiz that you can take. And then if you want to explore further, she offers a free 15-minute consultation.
Awesome. It's like a low-pressure invitation to step into the world of Ayurveda.
Exactly.
And remember, listeners, we're going to continue exploring Ayurveda and Megan Hart's approach in the next part of this deep dive.
Yes, there's still so much to uncover.
I'm excited.
Me too.
I don't know about you, but I'm already feeling inspired. Like I want to start incorporating some of this stuff into my life.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
It is fascinating how Ayurveda offers these tools for creating balance, well-being.
Right. So practical.
Yep.
So let's talk about how we actually start, like, putting these principles into practice. Where do we even begin?
Well, remember the doshas we discussed?
Vata, Pitta, Kapha.
Yes. It's all about understanding your dominant dosha and then making choices that support its natural balance.
Okay. So say I'm, like, predominantly Vata. What are some simple things I could do to create more balance in my life?
Okay, so vata, it's linked to air and ether.
Right.
Movement, lightness. So for someone with a vata imbalance, the key is to create a sense of grounding, stability. Like imagine a tree with deep roots.
Okay.
That's the kind of stability you'll want to cultivate for vata.
Got it. So what are some specific practices that can help with that?
Think about warm, nourishing foods, regular routines, and calming practices like gentle yoga or meditation.
So if I'm feeling that scattered Vata energy,
Yeah.
like skipping my morning meditation and grabbing a cold smoothie on the go, it's probably not the best idea.
Probably not. No, instead, imagine starting your day with a warm cup of herbal tea, like chamomile. That's especially calming for vata. And then maybe doing a grounding practice, like some gentle yoga, or even just a few minutes of like deep breathing.
That sounds so much more soothing than like rushing out the door with a sugar rush.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about diet? What kind of foods help balance Vata?
Vata benefits from warm, cooked foods that are easy to digest.
Okay.
So think soups, stews, root vegetables, and healthy fats like ghee or avocado.
Yeah.
Warming spices like ginger, cinnamon, cardamom, those are great for vata as well.
It's making me hungry just thinking about it.
I know, right?
So it's all about creating that warmth and stability from the inside out.
Exactly.
Yes. Okay. Let's shift gears, talk about Pitta.
Okay.
Pitta is all about fire.
Oh.
So for someone with a Pitta imbalance, cooling and calming practices are essential. So what does that actually look like in practice?
Think about cooling foods, calming activities, practices that soothe the mind and body.
Okay, so let's say I'm feeling that fiery Pitta energy. Maybe I'm like getting a little short-tempered or my digestion is acting up. What kind of foods would help like cool things down?
You could reach for cooling, watery fruits and vegetables.
Yeah.
Things like cucumbers, melons, zucchini, cilantro, coconut water.
Refreshing. What about spices? Are there any that help balance Pitta?
Yeah. So cooling spices like fennel, coriander, mint, those can be really soothing for Pitta. And on the other hand, you'd want to avoid heating spices like chili peppers.
Oh, yeah.
Those can aggravate Pitta.
Makes sense. Okay, so what about activities? Like, would a vigorous workout in the midday heat be a good idea for a Pitta-dominant person?
Probably not.
Okay.
Pitta thrives in moderation. So it's best to choose like calming activities, swimming, gentle yoga, maybe just a leisurely walk in nature, especially during like the cooler parts of the day.
Yeah. So basically anything that helps like turn down the heat.
Exactly.
All right. Let's move on to our final dosha, Kapha.
Okay.
It's linked to earth and water, so it's all about stability and grounding.
Right.
But too much Kapha can lead to stagnation, like sluggishness. So how do we keep that Kapha energy flowing?
Okay. So for someone with a Kapha imbalance, we want to focus on stimulating and invigorating practices. So think light, energizing foods, plenty of movement, activities that challenge you both physically and mentally.
All right, so it's like we're giving Kapha a little nudge to get things moving.
Yeah, exactly.
What kind of foods are we talking about?
Kapha benefits from lighter foods that are cooked with warming spices, so lentil soups, stir-fried vegetables with ginger and garlic, plenty of leafy greens.
Okay. Are there any foods that Kapha should like avoid?
Yeah. Heavy, oily, processed foods. Those can really exacerbate Kapha imbalances, so it's best to keep those to a minimum.
So we're choosing foods that are light,
Yes.
energizing.
Yes.
Okay. What about activities? What kind of exercise is like best for balancing Kapha?
Anything that gets you moving. So brisk walking, hiking, dancing, cycling, even challenging yoga practices like vinyasa flow are great for stimulating that Kapha energy.
So finding that sweet spot between like movement and stability.
Yes, exactly. Now remember, these are just general guidelines.
Right.
The beauty of Ayurveda is that it's very individualized.
Yeah.
What works for one person might not work for another, even if they have the same dominant dosha.
That makes sense. It's about like listening to your own body, finding what feels right for you.
Exactly. And that's where a qualified Ayurvedic practitioner can be so helpful.
Yeah?
They can help you understand your unique constitution and then create a personalized plan that addresses your specific needs and goals.
Speaking of personalized plans, we were talking earlier about Megan Hart's workshops.
Right.
They seem like such a great way to learn more about like applying these Ayurvedic principles in everyday life.
Yeah.
I'm especially curious about the Making Your Own Herbal Remedies workshop. Tell me more about that.
Oh, it sounds amazing. Right. Imagine like being able to create your own teas, salves, other remedies using the wisdom of Ayurveda and the power of plants. You could learn about the specific properties of different herbs and how to combine them to create like personalized blends for everything from boosting your immunity to calming anxiety.
It's like becoming your own like personal apothecary.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not just about the practical skills.
Right.
There's something so empowering about connecting with nature, tapping into that healing power of plants.
Yeah. I could see how that would be really rewarding.
It is. And remember, even if you're not ready to start, making your own remedies, her workshops are still a fantastic way to learn about the power of herbs and how to use them safely and effectively.
So true. It's all about gaining knowledge and confidence to make informed choices about your health. Now, we've talked a lot about diet, lifestyle, herbal remedies. But I'm wondering, what about the mental and emotional aspects of well-being? How does Ayurveda address those?
That's a great question. Ayurveda recognizes that true well-being encompasses not just the physical body, but also the mind and spirit.
So it's truly holistic.
Absolutely. Yeah. It offers a wide range of practices for cultivating mental and emotional balance, from meditation and yoga to breathwork and mindfulness techniques.
Can you give us some specific examples?
Sure. For example, if you're feeling anxious or overwhelmed, that's often associated with a Vata imbalance.
Yeah.
Ayurvedic practices like calming pranayama.
Pranayama.
Yeah. Breathwork, restorative yoga, meditation. Those can help to soothe the nervous system and create that sense of inner peace.
Okay. And what about Pitta? Like if someone's feeling irritable or angry, what are some practices that might help?
For Pitta imbalances, cooling and calming practices are key. So spending time in nature, practicing gentle yoga, engaging in activities that promote creativity and self-expression, that can all help to pacify that fiery energy.
So finding those practices that help us tune in, find that sense of balance.
Exactly. Ayurveda reminds us that we have the power to create well-being in our lives. It's about making those conscious choices that nourish our bodies, minds, and spirits.
As we're wrapping up this exploration of Ayurveda, I'm realizing just how much it's shifting my whole perspective on wellness.
It's really powerful stuff.
It is. We've covered so much about the doshas and personalized practices. We even talked about like making your own herbal remedies.
Right.
And today, I kind of want to take a step back, and look at the bigger picture.
Okay.
Why is Ayurveda having this like resurgence in popularity right now? I mean, it's been around for like thousands of years.
Yeah.
But it seems like it's really gaining momentum in the modern world. Why now?
That's a great question. I think there are a few reasons. I think one factor is that people are they're becoming more disillusioned with conventional medicine.
Yeah.
They're looking for approaches that address the root causes of illness, not just like mask the symptoms.
It makes sense. Like we're bombarded with quick fixes and Band-Aid solutions all the time. But I think people are starting to like crave something deeper,
Yeah.
something that addresses their well-being on a more fundamental level.
Absolutely. And Ayurveda offers that. It's about understanding your body's unique constitution, listening to its wisdom, and making lifestyle choices that support its natural healing abilities.
So it's a preventative approach.
Yeah.
It emphasizes living in harmony with yourself and with nature.
Exactly.
And it really acknowledges that connection between mind, body, and spirit, which is something we're hearing more and more around these days.
Right. And that's another key reason, I think, for Ayurveda's growing popularity. People are realizing that their thoughts, their emotions, their lifestyle choices have a really profound impact on their physical health. And Ayurveda has been emphasizing this interconnectedness for centuries.
So it's not about like popping a pill to mask a symptom.
Right.
It's about really understanding how all these different aspects of ourselves, our diet, our our relationships, our stress levels, even our spiritual practices, how all of that contributes to our overall well-being.
Exactly. It's about recognizing that we are whole beings, and that true health comes from cultivating balance and harmony in all areas of our lives.
You mentioned the importance of nature.
Yeah.
How does Ayurveda view our relationship with the natural world?
Ayurveda sees us as an integral part of nature, not separate from it.
Okay.
The rhythms of nature, the changing seasons, the cycles of day and night, all of that has a profound impact on our well-being.
So living in alignment with those natural rhythms is key to maintaining balance.
That's the idea. It's about tuning into those subtle shifts in nature and adjusting our routines, our diet, even our activities to stay in sync with those rhythms.
Can you give us some examples of how we can do that?
Sure. One simple practice is to align your sleep-wake cycle with the sun. So rise early with the sun, wind down as the sun sets. That helps to regulate your natural circadian rhythms and promote restful sleep.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
What about diet? How can we eat in a way that's more aligned with the seasons?
Ayurveda emphasizes eating seasonally.
Okay.
So in the spring and summer, when the weather's warm, you'd favor cooling foods like fruits, vegetables, lighter grains. And then as the weather cools down in the fall and winter, you'd start to incorporate more warming foods like soups, stews, root vegetables, healthy fats.
So it's about adapting our diet to the qualities of the season.
Exactly. And it makes sense. You think about it, eating those heavy warming foods in the summer might make you feel sluggish, out of balance.
Right.
Similarly, eating a lot of raw, cold foods in the winter can actually weaken your digestive fire and make you more susceptible to colds and flu.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's like Ayurveda gives us this roadmap for living in harmony with nature's cycles. Now, one thing that's really stood out to me throughout this whole deep dive is the personalized nature of Ayurveda.
Yeah.
It's not like a one-size-fits-all system, like so many wellness trends are these days.
Right. That's one of its greatest strengths. It recognizes that we are all unique individuals with different constitutions, different needs, different goals, and there's no rigid set of rules.
Yeah.
It's all about finding what works best for you.
And that can be really empowering, right?
Absolutely.
It's about taking ownership of your well-being and becoming the expert on your own body.
Yeah.
We've been focusing on Megan Hart's approach, but is there a way to start exploring Ayurveda on my own?
Yeah, absolutely. There are so many wonderful resources available. I would say start by reading about the doshas. See if you can identify which one resonates with you.
And once you have a basic understanding,
you can start to experiment with some of the simple practices we've been talking about. Pay attention to how different foods, different activities, even your environment, how all of that affects your energy levels and your overall well-being. It's all about self-awareness and making gradual adjustments.
I love that. So as we wrap up this incredible deep dive into Ayurveda, what's one final thought you like to leave our listeners with?
I would say this. Ayurveda is a gift. It's a gift of ancient wisdom that offers a path to greater health, vitality, and joy. And it's a gift that's available to all of us.
Beautifully said. And remember, listeners, if you're feeling inspired to explore further, Megan Hart's website, The Everyday Herbalist, is a wonderful place to start. She offers consultations, workshops, and a wealth of resources to support you on your journey. So keep exploring, keep listening to your body's wisdom, and keep diving deep. Thanks for joining us.
It's been a pleasure.